Hello and welcome to another episode of Take One with me, Silverfilter. And for this week, we're going to be talking about uh, the tips and tricks that I use with Dr. Rex when I'm using Dr. Rex. So the title of this episode is Fun with Dr. Rex. Um, I have I have five Dr. X's here on the left. Please don't mind the ones on the right for now. Um, those are just for the final example. And I'm just gonna be sharing with you some tips and tricks on how you can mangle your loops to make it sound, fresher. And perhaps I usually try to, just bring new life to old. I'm sure a lot of you have some old loops or loops that you don't really bother using in your productions, and I hope that with these tips and tricks, you can somehow dig them up, and you might have some gems lying around. You can use them, and once you once you try to change them, you'll be surprised at how much it can add to your track or your tunes. So to start with, I have for the first tricks, I have a basic house loop. Everything here is found in the Reason Sound library, and the second loop is just a basic breaks loop, and the third one is a guitar loop. Okay, so let's start. I'm just gonna be showing you moving the different parameters here and discussing it as we go by on top of the basic house loop. So here. So turn on the breaks loop. So what I first the usual knob that I pull up first is the amount of the LFO. Make sure you're always in sync. By default, it's turned off, so you have to just to keep things uniform and consistent. Just turn on sync, and you can choose your LFO rate here. Then you can change your waveforms. By now you're already hear the different changes. Or change the rate, then you can change the rate, then see, suddenly it's an entirely new loop, new sounding loop. And we bring in the guitar. So once again, I try to pull in so you can use something different. Like for this, I'm using the filter, and you can just move your sliders to taste. And you can now play with the oscillator pitch. Now let's say with it. Now it suddenly doesn't sound like a guitar now. Then we can later on bring another guitar, a wah guitar, and we can just also transpose it, just and then like when you're working with your filter here, second, just feel free to fix your filter envelopes. Sorry, for the guitar, I mean. See, just you just bring it up a bit, and you can create something entirely different. And this was originally a guitar loop. And then one trick I usually do, this is just a simple hat loop, right? I usually just use a little bit of oscillator changing on the LFO. Suddenly now you have your hi-hats with two notes. Compared to when it was just flat. Now you have for hi-hats, usually just a subtle amount would do. And then we can also change our main loop, and this is my setting earlier, and this is how it sounds if you pull it up. And you can also just use your automation to have fun with it. So now it's like the shakers that was originally playing all throughout the loop is now cut. So using this waveform makes it, the changes more subtle. So now it's just a matter of mixing it up. So that's basically the live mangling of the loops mentioned. Now, for another tutorial, I'll be covering more about Dr. Rex. But for now, that's just the simple tips and tricks that I can share, and like just to share another bit of changes. This is the one I worked with earlier. My first file for the tutorial crashed, so the video was gone, so I had to redo it. This is what I came up with. See, it's kind of different from the one that we came up with now, which is this one. And if you think about it, this is how it originally sounded, just when using the basic loops. So it's that to this. So there, that's having fun with your Dr. Rex loop player. And just my tip for you is just to when you just play with it, just move your sliders, move your knobs, um, the oscillator pitch, just so you can come up with something new and something fresh. So there, I hope you learned something and that you enjoyed this particular episode of ours. And um, I'm still thinking of what next episode would be. So perhaps it would be just to pick up from from our tutorial now with Dr. X. Our next tutorial will be fun with LFO, and this is how we do it. So I'll see you next week, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. Um, Enjoy, make music. God bless.